Hi, I'm Teresa Baglietto, host of InShock Radio. Like many of you, I have faced my share of challenges. From cancer to job loss, divorce to financial hardship, you name it, I have experienced it. This podcast is about overcoming life's toughest moments and finding the courage and strength to keep going. So tune in to unleash your inner strength and discover how to move forward, no matter what life throws your way. Hi, everyone. Happy Monday and welcome to the show. So today we're going to talk about something that we can all relate to, and it's those moments in life that leave us in shock. So think about a time when you received news that completely rocked your world, made you just stop in your tracks, and maybe you felt a little bit paralyzed. Could be a health scare, a job loss, maybe a relationship ending or a divorce, some sort of financial crisis or struggle, or the loss of somebody that you loved. These are just a few things that can really take your breath away. But whatever the cause, that moment in shock can leave us feeling lost, unsure how to cope. How do we move forward from the news that we just received? And how do we survive it? Some people say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to survive this. InShock is really dedicated to sharing real stories of triumph and resilience, stories of people that I know, and maybe others who've navigated these life-shaking experiences and found a way to kind of push through it or thrive through it all, no matter how tough it was. So through their stories and my own personal experiences, which let me tell you, you're going to hear real shortly, there have been a lot of them. I'm going to share tools along with my friends on different strategies that we've all used to overcome these life curveballs. And so I want to share a story of a challenging period for me when a series of life-threatening diagnoses left me in shock. And that's really where the name of this show has come from. So over just 5 years, I became a 4-time cancer survivor, overcame 3 strokes, and underwent brain surgery for 2 aneurysms. Okay, are you thinking what I'm thinking? You're wondering how the hell did I get through so much shit in such a short period of time? I don't think a lot of people would have survived that without becoming a complete basket case. Well, somehow I managed. And I really think, as I look back, it is about changing your mindset. I know that sounds so cliche, but we're going to learn today how I shifted my mindset. So we all have good days and bad days, and that's called living life. Not every day is going to be a great day or a high moment, but God, when they are high moments, I know we all love them. We're excited. The days are fantastic, but there's going to be days when life throws us curveballs. And I think if everybody realizes that is what life is about, it all becomes much more manageable. Just a little bit, maybe. So think back to a time when you or someone you loved learned they had cancer. In that moment, how did you feel? I'm sure there was a rush of emotions in yourself and for the person who had been diagnosed. You know, the mind starts racing, and we've all probably convinced ourselves that this might be the end. And that's so daunting and devastating. But we've also come to that conclusion with just a phone call or a conversation giving us a diagnosis. It's not all the facts. There's still a lot that needs to happen to get all those facts. So the first time I was diagnosed with cancer, I was flying down the freeway when I received a call. The doctor said, "Hey, Teresa, is this a good time for you?" "Yeah, this is a great time." "Are you alone?" I knew in that moment, this was not going to be a call about good news. My heart started to race before I even knew what he was going to say, and I thought I was going to pass out. I had to pull over to make sure I wasn't going to crash into somebody and get ready for what I was about to hear. He said, "You have lip cancer." What in the fuck? Are you serious? I became so numb. My body started shaking like I was standing outside in 20-degree weather without a jacket on. Have you ever been outside when it's been that cold without a jacket? Then you know that feeling. It's like uncontrollable shaking. My body was in shock. And beyond hearing the news he just shared, I wasn't able to hear any further words, and he continued to chat on. Well, 5 years later, I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, breast cancer. And a year after that, doctors discovered that I had 2 brain aneurysms that could potentially explode like a bomb in my brain and kill me. Are you fucking serious? How much more do I have to hear? 3 years later, I was diagnosed with a second breast cancer and melanoma. But guess what, guys? I never rolled over or sat in a corner thinking, woe is me. I faced everything head on. It truly was like a challenge for me that I wanted to take over. I didn't want this to take me down. And on one particular appointment, a nurse called me back. She was so sweet, so genuine, very sympathetic of my diagnosis. She had told me her husband had been diagnosed with cancer and that she really understood how I was feeling in that moment. Okay, do we all just love it when someone validates our feelings? That's a high moment. No matter how low you're feeling, it feels so good to be validated. She said, "Teresa, life is too short and to adopt a do now, can do attitude." She believed you could do anything you set your mind to and to do things now and not wait for that right time, because you just never know when life really is going to throw that curveball, the kind you know I'm talking about. It was her do now story that inspired me to think about this and how I was going to approach it much differently. And if I look back on all those years, I realized that what got me through was not just sheer willpower and the challenge to overcome, but it was really a combination of inner strength and these practical tools that I'm going to share with you that I used along the way. I think these tools and techniques are going to help you no matter what the circumstances are that you're going through. So the first thing I did is I changed my mindset by asking for help. This was a big one for me. I've always been self-reliant, accustomed to managing things on my own. I was that girl that always said, "I don't need your help. I can do it myself." Well, guess what, friends? When you're going through some heavy shit, you need support. I have an incredible network of friends and family who were all willing to jump in the boat with me and weather the storm each and every time. That's why we have friends and family, not just to go do fun things with, but they are there to help support us through the shittiest of time. Asking for help was literally one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I don't even think I did it really well. I was vulnerable and it required me to step outside of my comfort zone. We all know we hate to do that, but it was the best decision I made. Having that support system with that village of friends around me made all the difference when I felt like my world was really starting to crumble. Laughter is the other strategy that was invaluable in navigating all of that hard shit I was going through. I encourage everyone to give themselves permission to laugh, even when things feel impossibly dark. It's okay. It's more than okay to embrace joy and lightness that laughter can bring in those dark moments. I don't think people do it enough during those hard times. We all have a tendency to think, I am in a very serious situation. I have got to be serious. Don't laugh. Don't be fun and don't have fun around me. Well, that's a complete bullshit response. Laughter has a remarkable power to heal the spirit and soothe your soul. So do more of it. I remember so many slumber parties with my girlfriends. These were nights filled with wine and laughter, so intense it would bring tears to our eyes. Laugh until you cry, or until you pee your pants, or maybe you do both. Surround yourself with funny friends. If you don't have any funny friends, go find one. And if you don't want to find new friends, turn on the TV and turn over to Netflix and pull up stand-up comedians. There are tons of them on Netflix. They will make you laugh so hard that you'll forget that you're having some shit in your life. How do I know this? Because I've done it. I do it on just a normal bad day. It makes a huge difference. It changes your mindset in that moment. And even if it's just for 20 minutes, that's better than nothing. So laugh. The next thing is make a plan. I know that sounds super strange. Like, how do you make a fucking plan when this is all out of your control? Well, the plan served me as a roadmap. It gave me clarity on the journey ahead, a sense of purpose and direction that supported my strength to be able to push through all of it. The unknown can create fear, right? When we don't really know what's going to happen, we get scared, we get anxious, we get stressed. So when you have a plan, it helps eliminate some of that fear. Again, taking some of this away is better than carrying all of the burden. So put a plan together. I had a notebook to keep track of my plan. It was kind of part of the plan and helped me better prepare for upcoming appointments. And it was a great place for myself, my friends, my family to put questions down. In my case, going to a doctor's office and just sitting there listening to what they have to say and you're kind of in shock, you're not really thinking about what to ask. Maybe simple questions, but the hard stuff. This is a collaborative time to engage with your doctor and get to know them. So I wrote questions in my notebook. We wanted to understand the whole treatment plan, surgery, recovery, all of those highlights of notes went in the notebook because I knew I wasn't going to remember everything. And I certainly knew having my friends there when I might have felt like I was being hit with a bullet with more intense information, they were there to help soften the blow and ask questions. So bring or put together a notebook to help serve you during this tough time. And have a trusted friend or confidant as like your go-to person, someone that you can talk to about anything, who is by your side and willing to jump in the boat with you to weather your storm no matter what. Yes, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to share what's going on with you, even if it's financial stress. And we'll get to that in another episode. But I will never forget the support of my friends during this time. 2 or 3 of them would always join me at my doctor's appointments. They would offer this sense of companionship, really making it all less daunting. They'd drive me, take notes. We'd go out and have a meal afterwards. I had one friend who took the lead in organizing all my meal train deliveries. Another one kept everyone up to date on my progress, so that burden wasn't on me and it allowed me to focus on healing. If you're going through a divorce, for example, bring that confidant with you to your appointments with your attorney. Share deep information with them. These have to be people that you trust that aren't into the daily gossip, right? You don't want this going back to your whole circle of friends. You really need that one person who is an extension of yourself that's going to be there and support you. Or maybe it's multiple friends. And if you're struggling financially, lean into a friend who's either in a better financial situation, can introduce you to somebody who's in a better financial situation that can perhaps talk you through whatever it is that you're going through, give you ideas. Maybe it has to do with just always coming up short all the time. They could walk you through putting a budget together or share a spreadsheet of a budget. Have your friends go with you to the bankruptcy attorney. When you're facing difficult circumstances, especially those that feel overwhelming or shocking, it is really crucial for you to actively engage in your own well-being. And that is involving the strategies that I just covered. So let's go through them one more time to make sure you really understand what they are. Embrace the power of support. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Building a strong support system of friends, family, kind of, we'll call it your village, is really crucial for navigating difficult times. Yes, it requires vulnerability, but it is one of the most important steps you can take. Laughter. Yes, lots of it. Find joy in the midst of this hardship. I know that's not easy. Who wants to laugh when shit's hard? But laughter is a powerful medicine. Give yourself permission to find those moments of joy, even during the darkest times. It can really heal the spirit and provide much needed relief from the stress that you are carrying. And create that roadmap of clarity, even when things feel out of control. Put a plan together to provide a sense of purpose and direction. This will help reduce your fears and will empower you to navigate this road of the unknown. This includes having your go-to person, your friends, your support system. So there are things that you can do that don't cost money if you're in that situation that can actually help you along the way. These tools, these techniques have helped me through some of the most challenging times in my life. And you may even have to write them down in a notebook so when that day comes, you know what to do. Remember, we're all facing challenges in life that shake us to our core, and you are not alone. That strength is within you, and there's a network of support around you between your friends, your family, support groups everywhere. I went to breast cancer support groups in different towns to get different insights. I went to aneurysm support groups. I drove an hour to go to one of the top support groups. So you are going to have to take charge. You are going to have to be your own advocate. But you're not alone. Always remember that. I have really enjoyed this time. I want to thank you all for allowing me to share this part of my life with you. I will have upcoming episodes that will dive deep into each and every curveball that I've gone through, from the cancer, aneurysms, divorce, etc. I'm going to have an incredible lineup of guests who will be sharing their personal stories as well. And we will include laughter. Yes, we will. I think it's so important. I've said it enough times, but it truly makes a difference. Even if you're just having a rough day at work, if you can flip on the TV after work and watch something funny, I promise you it'll make your day better. So keep tuning in. Until next time.